my god, we're back.
We are.
Holy crap, it's skate date. Did you miss us? We missed you. Actually, to be honest, we weren't thinking about you. We were thinking about all the hell we were going through. But we have made it. Kind of.
Yeah, so welcome to Skate Date. What is Skate Date, babe?
Skate Date is a podcast made by two roller skaters who fell in love and then decided to create something where they can talk about not just roller skating, but also the real world.
Skate Date necessarily isn't all about roller skating, like roller skating, even though now and then we will talk about it. Skate Date is just like in the name. It's what you would talk about if you're on the skate date. Because when you go skating with someone, you're not just discussing skating. You're discussing what's going on in your life and the problems of the world. So we hope you find that here. It's that way you feel like, hey, there is more to my identity than just I am a roller skater.
Yeah, sometimes we feel lost and we just feel like, oh, I'm just a roller skater, but we are more multidimensional than that.
Yes, and I am Shove.
And I'm Rebel.
And together we are Shovel.
Can you dig it?
Yeah, so...
You can't dig it, babe?
Huh?
Can you dig it?
No, I can't. Everyone just know this is not because, Shove hates Skate Date. I was actually really excited to come back to Skate Date. I am in the middle of a depressive episode. You might not know by my Instagram because I know how to fake it, but I have definitely cried every day for the past 4 days. So I am pulling it together to be here with y'all because I miss you and we need an episode this week. So I'm sorry if I literally did not even hear you say that because I kind of blacked out for a second because that's what happens. But I'm here, y'all, and I'm going to be okay, and doing things like this is what keeps me on this earth. So let's jump in.
We're here, and we're doing skate dates.
Yeah, so we almost died, if you don't know. That's why we've been in my...
Yeah, we almost died, and before that... I got my face smashed in, and so we skipped an episode or something because of that. And then I've been at DiscOasis too.
Wait, we came back after you broke your teeth.
Yeah, for one episode. And then I was like, I'm at DiscOasis. We didn't know when to record, and then we got COVID.
No, it was, I got my teeth pulled, so then we had to skip, and then we got COVID.
Oh.
I put notes. If she read the notes in front of her, she would understand.
I saw DiscOasis. Shove had her tooth pulled. We both got COVID. I thought I just read Rebel DiscOasis.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so, I don't know, but we're here, and today's episode is about...
having COVID and...
DiscOasis.
And you'll find out why both of those go together.
Yeah. So
no shade, DiscOasis.
Yeah, we love DiscOasis. It's just like any...
I won't go back.
I really want you to go back, though.
No.
For closing night. Oh, okay.
I will double mask.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so if you don't know what any of those things are, then just hold on tight, buckle up your seatbelts, and get ready for another adventure whirlwind that is Skate Date.
Woo, woo.
Okay, so now we are going to do our ad.
Hey, babe, do you like a mystery box?
What? Are you hitting on me?
Huh? Oh my god, babe, not that kind of box. I'm talking about a box full of mystery. Full of 3 exclusive items.
Ooh, that sounds amazing. What kind of items?
A patch, jewelry item, and an accessory. You also even earn awards, get special coupons, and the amazing gift of being surprised with each one.
Oh my god, I desperately need them. Who makes this amazing mystery box?
Project Pinup, of course.
Project Pinup? as if Project Pinup could get more cool, they're offering mystery boxes now. That's incredible. Y'all know I'm a hoe for a mystery box.
They also have a new logo, and it's a super cute, like, rockabilly skeleton chick that I'm super into.
Yeah, so if you want to get a mystery box, they have the August mystery box out now. I'm really sorry, I do not know how much it is off the top of my head, but I do know that if you use code SKATEDATE, you can get 10% off.
Oh my gosh, it's been so long that I forgot we had a discount code.
Yeah.
I think I've literally sent people Heather/Project Pinup's way and just been like, yeah, check it out, and forgot we had a discount
Oh,
code.
yeah. Dang. Sucks to be those people. That's okay. Okay, so should we jump into the real world?
Oh, the greatest gift of all since 2020. The gift of COVID.
COVID-19, y'all.
But not that old COVID. We got that Delta variant.
That new
That
new COVID.
Just like Delta Airlines. We took a trip to the Valley of Death.
Yes. If y'all have been following us for any amount of time, especially throughout this whole quarantine, you know that we have taken quarantine and COVID like very, very seriously in our household. Both of us completely quarantined for months.
Months? Like a year and a half.
Yeah, but like completely. Like we never even left the house at all. And yeah, for a year and a half, we totally quarantined, and we thought we did it. We thought we made it. We got the vaccine.
Anyone that's been listening to us for a long time knows how much we talked about keeping your ass home, wearing a mask, COVID's real, all this stuff. And that's why it's so ironic that we got COVID. But, the vaccine made us cocky.
Yes, I definitely was like, I have the vaccine. I'm great. I'm perfect. I'm invincible. And anyone who knows science, obviously not me, knows that that's not fully true. But I feel like when you've been locked up for a year and a half, you don't really think about like you're not thinking.
I feel like the truth is that we were ignorant. And ignorant, as I always say, you can be ignorant. That doesn't mean you're stupid. Ignorant is just the lapse of education on something. And I almost feel like it was like one of those, what do they call it? A Mandela effect? Where, like, I could have swore they were like, if you get vaccinated, you're like 80% that you won't get COVID.
I know, I thought that was true too.
Like,
yeah.
it lessens your chances, blah, blah. I don't know why I was like, 100% that's what it is. And that's the only reason I felt comfortable taking my mask off in open areas, still wear it indoors, or even take it off indoors when they were like, hey, you're good now, the numbers are low enough.
But it does, though, reduce your chances of getting it a little bit.
Okay, but then like Delta came, and it wasn't like they were like in a hurry to be like, put your mask back on, because everyone that like when we got COVID and I talked about it online, literally it was like 80% of the people were like, no, it doesn't keep you from getting COVID, it just lessens the symptoms and keeps you from dying or like needing to go to the hospital.
But I swear to God, when the vaccine first came out, there was a bunch of information disseminated that was like, it does keep you from getting COVID for the most part. Like, it lowers your chances of whatever. And I think it does keep you from getting... I don't know, actually,
it's
anymore.
Just like
I feel like I thought I knew, but maybe now I don't know anymore.
If you go on the comments of my IGTV, it's like wild hearing the stories. Like, people were like, I had a vaccine-only party, and then there was an outbreak of COVID. Like I thought it was just because I had bootleg J&J, and guess what? I gave it to this one who had Pfizer.
Yeah, and then I went to work, and my friend was like, well, that's what you get for not getting Moderna. And I was like, what? I didn't even have a choice. Like, I just was like, put whatever shot in me. I don't even care.
Yeah, so, I don't know. It really, really sucked. Like, Rebel got it from me 100%. Because
Yes.
I had this cough like throughout the weekend. It was just like, we even recorded an episode and I was like, skating around the parking garage.
But it was kind of cute, so I made fun of it.
Little did we know while making that video that a bitch named Courtney Shove had COVID.
Yeah.
And pretty sure backtracking, because I hadn't gone anywhere prior to that, that I got it at VIP night at DiscOasis. One of the people I was with got it, and a couple of people I knew that were there got it. But then also like other people that were in Long Beach were getting it at the same time. So I think it wasn't like, oh, DiscOasis' fault. It was just that there were so many people from LA and like Long Beach, and it was gathered, and like it was busy, and the dance floor was popping, and like I don't know, like some of y'all saw, like I was just dancing a fool, and you know, heavy breathing, dancing, sweating, and someone might have breathed a little hard in my direction, and I must have inhaled.
Which sucks. It's so crazy because the whole thing is outside.
Yeah, and you know, I believed, like, every time someone would say, yeah, I'm still gonna wear my mask outside, like, I don't know, and I was just like, it's fine, because I wanted to be free. I just wanted to feel free, and I wanted to be ignorant to, like, ignorance is bliss. I wanted to believe that, like, I'm vaccinated, it's safe now, CDC says it's okay to take my mask off outdoors, like, pretend like everything's okay again. And I think, like, what really pissed me off and what really hurt is that night was the first night I felt free and like myself in a really long time. Like, we're talking about over 1.5 years. Like, I love to dance, and that was the first night I got to like actually dance the way I like to dance with good music, and that was my downfall.
Yeah, that sucks.
So I will never be happy again because I know now that it will kill me.
No, yeah, I think it's hard too, because I don't know, I was under the impression that it was, you know, fine and safe, because I had been working for like a month before that at DiscOasis without a mask, and I had been perfectly fine.
A week before. Because I went to opening on that like Saturday, and then VIP.
Oh, because of the rehearsals.
Mm.
So I don't know. So I had been working, a week before with it being open, but like a time before that with it closed. But like, I don't know, I just kind of thought like, oh, this is fine or whatever. And none of the other people that I work with were getting it. And so I just didn't think that it could possibly be true. But it was. And then our lives shut down for 10 days, and it was very frustrating, and it was scary because we both like had really close calls. And
let's just talk about how like it was funny because Rebel kind of got like a cough after a while. Like, at first she was making fun of me because she was like and I was like, stop making fun of me, I don't know why I have this like tickle in my throat. And then
that makes me sound like an awful person, but she makes fun of me all the time.
It was like Sunday, and I mean, that was on Sunday when we made the episode, and then on Monday, like, literally it was so bad, like, my voice was gone. It was like I couldn't swallow right, like my throat hurt so freaking bad. So I had to like call out of work and be like, well, not call out, but like, I'm gonna work from home, like I just don't feel good. Because anything that like the pandemic one of the big things the pandemic has taught me is that if you're sick, stay your ass at home. It's not worth going in and getting other people sick, and wear a mask. And it really sucked because people were coming out of town to visit us, and I was like super excited. And I was just like, oh, yay. And then I was like, nope, just kidding. Like, I'm going to hide from them. And because I just had a feeling like it's not worth it. Because, like, I right away was like, what if I have COVID? Like, and everyone was like, well, you just had your teeth pulled. And, like, maybe it's from the dentist and it could be strep. And I'm like, I don't know. I literally slept almost that whole day.
Yeah,
like,
you slept like 2 days in a row.
Once I finished my work, I was like, I'm just gonna sleep. And like, it just wasn't getting better. I kept feeling worse and worse. So by the time the next morning, my voice was still gone. I could barely swallow water. And I was like, I think it's COVID. Like, blah, blah. And Rebel was like, well, if you think it's COVID, you need to go take a test. So she drove me to get a test. And then just to be sure, like, she also took a rapid test and got a negative.
Yeah, so that was on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I took her to get a test. I should have just paid for you to get, like, a rapid test, but you got a regular test, and then I got a rapid test because I was like, I have to go into work tonight, so I need to know immediately whether or not I have COVID or not. And I got negative, so then I went into work, and everything was fine.
And she was super excited because the next day was Pigeon's, like, first
I was
hosted night.
so excited to see a bunch of skaters and all this sort of stuff. And then I came home, and I woke up on Wednesday, and I was like, I don't feel right.
And she slept in a different room that night, too.
I slept in a different...
wearing masks.
We wear masks in our house. I slept in a different room because I was like, I feel like Shove is contagious.
I told my roommate, like, yo, I'm really sick. I don't know if it's COVID. Like, just, I'm going to be with a mask on, but just heads up. And so she was like, yeah, I'll be, like, at a family member's house. Because I was like, I know the drill. Like, we can't do this.
Yeah, but on Wednesday I woke up and I was like, I don't know, something just doesn't feel right. And it wasn't even like I was sick on Wednesday. It was just,
you started feeling sick on Wednesday. It was, really weird.
I felt like a cold. Like, it felt like a cold on Wednesday.
But that's how it started with me, and that's why everyone was like, no, it's a cold. But then, Google, and it's like Delta variant shows like a cold, not like flus right away.
Yeah. So then I was like, crap. So I called my work, and I was like, I'm going to get another rapid test because I don't know. I don't feel right. And so her results came back, and it was positive for COVID. So then I told my work, like, hey, this is what's going on. And then I got another rapid test, and then I tested positive for COVID. And I was like, fuck.
We skipped an important part that shows the denial of not only the lovely Rebel Rouser, but also my Derby wives. That morning, before I had my results and before Rebel got tested, I wake up and I'm like, I don't know, like, what new fresh hell is it going to be? Because it was, like, fever dreams and just really, like, everything by that day was, like, I'm in fucking hell. And so, like, something just told me, like, oh, I think I went to the kitchen and I got some orange juice, I poured it, and then I tried to taste it. And mind you, my gums are still hurting because I had my wisdom and a molar pulled out. So I'm also in pain and hadn't already eaten, like, decent food in days. And so I drank the orange juice and I'm like, that seems weird. And then I went to, like, taste something else, and I was like, am I tripping? So I text my friend that had COVID last year, and she's like, go brush your teeth, and that's when you'll know. And, like, I kind of felt a tingle, but I didn't taste anything. And then still everyone was like, and then I couldn't smell anything, and everyone's like, no, like, strep affects that. Like, no, it's not COVID. And I was like, I can't taste or smell. It's effing COVID. Like, what? Everyone was like, no. I was the only person that's like, writing on the wall, people, like, fuck a test. This is COVID. Like, once the taste and smell, I thought it was so cute, babe, that you still were like, let's stay positive. And
I was trying to stay positive.
Me, the realist ass fucking Capricorn, Taurus, Libra, like, it's COVID.
I was just trying to be positive.
It was just really weird and, like, a science of experiment, though, like, knowing that you got a negative while I was, like, already dying, and then the next day a positive. Like, timing is serious.
And that, like, I literally didn't spread it to anyone on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Because I went to work, I was around lots of people, and no one I was around got sick.
Yeah, it's, like, really important about the timing, and that's why, like, testing, we can try to say, like, oh, just take a test, then you'll know you're safe, and it's like, but the timing is what's important. Like, you could still spread it to someone.
Which is why they say, like, quarantine if you were exposed.
Yeah. The first time I heard about the Delta variant was, like, right before my rollout, but it didn't feel like a big thing, so I was like, oh, the rollout can still happen, blah, blah, and I think we really lucked out because that was so many people.
Oh my god, I literally forgot that your rollout happened.
Yeah.
So many things have happened since then.
Yeah, and then I remember someone even said, like, oh, like, funny that, like, Shovel got COVID after they had a super spreader event, and I was like, yo, I followed CDC guidelines. I thought everything was fine, and thank God, as far as I know, like, people were pretty safe, even though they didn't have masks. Like, it's like I told everyone to wear masks and weren't vaccinated, and I still had that whisper in my back, like, I hope no one gets sick. But then, like, it started going downhill from there, where it was, like, getting rapid, and it seemed like it's getting scarier and scarier. But, like, it didn't really feel real until, like, boom, I got it. And I feel like half the people we know got it around the same time.
Yeah, it was really crazy.
Like, everyone that we didn't get it last year is getting it this year.
Yeah.
I think everyone's going to have it eventually.
Yeah. And then we're all going to turn into lizard people. Just kidding.
I am terrified to know about the long-lasting effects.
I'm not even going to think about it. Because we don't need to think about that right now.
It was a solid 10 days of not feeling good.
Yeah, 100%. Full time. But, like, some people don't feel like anything. That's what's so crazy. I was like, what are the chances that both of us got it so that it's, like, so bad and totally took us out?
What was the worst for you?
The worst for me was, like, not being able to sleep, but being so miserable when I was awake that all I wanted to do was be asleep. So, like, I couldn't fall asleep. But, like, I was so miserable awake that I just wanted to be dead.
For me, it was the body aches. It was like any kind of accident I ever had felt like it just happened in my body. And my fever was so high that, like, I was freezing. And I just remember shaking and being like, I can't get warm. And I felt like my toes were literally going to fall off because I was like, I'm so cold. Everything's in pain. And it was just like, Rebel had and this was before, like, Rebel had symptoms, layered, like, I had a comforter, I had a weighted blanket, I had another blanket, and I was like, I'm still freezing. Like, I thought that was it. Like, and then I started having fever dreams where it was, like, really effed up stuff going on in my head, and, like, I think also the worst, like, maybe for you too, was, like, towards the end, you start thinking, like, oh, I feel better, and you would start doing something, and then all of a sudden,
it would
be
just
wiped out.
Take you down.
Yeah, and you'd, like, fever, and, like, throwing up, and just, like,
it was
horrible.
Definitely scary. There was definitely a time there where both of us were, like, checking our pulse ox levels and our temperature, like, every hour.
Yeah.
And I was like, are we going to the hospital? Are we staying home? What is happening?
Once I started feeling, like, a little better or something, I was just like, you know what? Like, everyone on Instagram's, like, checking in with me. I'm just going to do an update and just be, like, really honest about how I feel and how I feel about, like, anti-vaxxers and, like, anti-maskers and, like, about, like, hey, this is what COVID's like. It's freaking real, because I know there's still people out there that think it's fake. And, yeah, I lost hundreds of followers because of that, and it's still getting views, and I feel like every time it gets views, I lose followers, and at first I was like, well, whatever, and then I started thinking something was wrong with me, but it's just because, like, I got a lot of, like, hate messages that were just like, how dare you, you're not a doctor, and you're influencing people to get a vaccine, and you don't know anything about it, and I was just like, I can't believe that, like, people are pissed, like, literally pissed at me while I have COVID because I'm speaking about how I have COVID, and I was also afraid to post it because I knew that it was going to give anti-vaxxers gasoline for being like, see, why get a vaccine? You're going to get COVID. But luckily there were a lot of intelligent people and people that are in the medical field, like, responding to those people, because I definitely didn't have the energy to tell them the medical reasons of why. Like, everyone that's on a breathalyzer right now is people that are not vaccinated.
Yeah, like, definitely worth it to be vaccinated, because if it felt like that level of hell without a vaccine, imagine what it would feel like if we were, if it felt like that level of hell with a vaccine, imagine what it would feel like without a vaccine.
I definitely would have needed a breathalyzer. I'm a former smoker, and also I'm obese. And being obese is a pre-existing condition where when they say when you have COVID, it's going to be harder. Long-lasting side effects, I can taste, like, maybe 95%. Things still taste off unless they're sweet. And I still can't smell. I'll get, like, a whiff of something, and then when I try to smell it again, it's just gone. And just talking right now, I feel winded. Like, breathing is hard. Skating is hard. Like, I just need to take so many breaks. And the body aches are still kind of there, too. They're just not as intense. Kind of wondering if, like, the depression that followed so strongly, even though I am medicated, could be some kind of like effect, because apparently they're finding out it does do more to your brain. So I don't know. Or maybe I'm just depressed because my brain's always like this.
Yeah, but since you started taking medication, you haven't really been this low. And so I wonder.
Yeah.
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 For me, it's been kind of like, I don't know, like it was hard the first day that I went back to work, and I was like, I'm just going to skate for 5 hours. Like, this is going to be fine.
Beast mode.
But it was like also, I wanted to go back so bad. But like a couple days after, like my 11th and 12th day after I got COVID, I was like practicing skating in the back, and I could only last for like an hour or less. And I was just pooped. Like I was so exhausted. And then I went back to work, and I was okay the first day. And then the second day I went back, I was just like knocked out. Like I could not do it. Like maybe like it was kind of delayed, you know. But I think the biggest thing is I just felt like, I don't know, for me, it like messed everything up in my life. Like all my, like everything that I had worked to create, like my own schedule and all the, like the times I would wake up and what I would do.
Remember, you actually had to teach your class, and you were like,
oh my God, that's
with your
right.
beanie on and dying and listening to
yeah.
speeches.
I taught my class like for 3 days with COVID. And I was just like, normally I have full beat. I have like professional wear, and I literally was like, don't care, glasses and a beanie.
For those of you that are like, why would you do that? It was the last week of summer school, so it was like really important that Rebel was there.
Yeah, because if you miss class in the last week, like there's literally no time to make it up. So I was like, I have to do this. Like there's no way I can't. I cut every class like at least a little bit short because I literally could not make it. But yeah, it was wild. I feel so bad for those students. They were literally like that 6 weeks of summer school. They witnessed me getting my face knocked in and my teeth knocked out. I had to teach one of the classes with my teeth not even with the temporary caps on, with them all messed up, and then me getting COVID.
And then we got better from COVID, and we're like, Bowie has fleas, and there's fleas everywhere, and now I gotta try to take care of that. Oh, I gotta go back to my full-time job and go back to school 3 times a week. So hope you're ready, Shove, to be like, let's have this 14-hour long day for 3 days straight. And then it was just like really intense, and it's crazy because I feel like neither one of us has had a chance to like cope or really like understand that it was like we went through something so physical and mentally draining and scary, and then we just jumped back into our lives. And like, I don't know, I was talking to my therapist about it, and I was just like, yeah, like people just feel like this. Like you're like, oh yay, I beat COVID, I didn't die, jump back into real life.
Yeah, like what in the world? There should be some sort of transitional period.
Yeah, our roommate told us that her stepmom is in like a Facebook group for people that had COVID, so they can like talk about things. And I was like, I had a moment where at first I was like, wow, that's crazy, that's stupid. And then I was like, actually, I feel like if I still used Facebook, I would join that group just to be like, to feel valid. Because sometimes there's things I'm feeling in my body, and I'm like, is that because I had COVID and it's still lingering, or is that just my normal bullshit?
I also really think that there is this very real, like, shame that's kind of attached to COVID and, like, having COVID. Like, even though I'm fully recovered and, like, I know I'm not contagious, I'm vaccinated, and I'm wearing a mask everywhere, I still hesitate to, like, give people hugs. I still hesitate to, like, get near anyone because I'm worried that I'm, like, tarnished or that they see me as tarnished.
They're like, get away.
Yeah, like, that's how it feels to me. And so I think I'm struggling a lot more with that than, like, the physical symptoms, whereas you're struggling more with, like, the physical symptoms.
Yeah, so mask back on. And also just... my final thought on this subject matter is talking about, like, the stigma and, like, I don't know, guilt or whatever it might be. It's not, sorry, it's really hot in here, and Bowie's starting to pant. If you hear that, forgive us. It's okay, Bobo. I just feel like it's crazy that until Rebel and I got COVID, how many people that we either follow or talk to the internet so much, or even people in our real lives, were like, oh, I have COVID too right now, or I had COVID, that we never knew. And it's so weird. Like, these are people that post about everything or talk about it, and it was like everyone was ashamed. But then, like, once they're like, oh, you have it too? Like, oh, me too, and this is what happened. And you're like, how come no one talks about it? And that's why so many people think it's not a big thing.
Yeah.
So if you get COVID, like, I think you should, like, let people know. Because part of the reason where we are right now is there's so many people that are like, it's not that big deal, or not. I don't know anyone that got it still, but it's just because people are ashamed to talk about it, because they also feel like, oh, people aren't going to want to be around me, or they're going to think like everything's contaminated and all this stuff. And you really got to break that stigma.
Which is really crazy. I totally agree with that, because when I posted like, hey, I got COVID, like, so many people messaged me like, me too, or I got through that last year, or whatever. And I was like, wait, what? Like, all of you had it? Like, what? And here I was thinking that, like, it was, you know, close to over, or at least waning down or something like that. But no. Nay. All right, well, that's COVID. I don't want to talk about it ever again. But
let's go to something positive.
Like DiscOasis! All right, next up we have the wheel world. And in the wheel world, we're going to talk about the magical disco, sorting, roller skating paradise.
Paradise or Oasis?
That is the DiscOasis.
The wheel world is where we talk about all things roller skate related, roller skate adjacent. So yeah, let's jump in about this epic, super huge, crazy, lit up discos everywhere, disco everything world that you work at, because now you're a show person.
Yeah, I'm a show person now. So I work at the DiscOasis. I got hired to be a roller skater who skates with the crowd and also does a performance every 45 minutes. I am absolutely so #blessed that I was chosen and I get to be a part of it, because definitely there are a lot better skaters than me that could have been hired for it, but I got chosen and I was very, very happy about it, and it has been such a wonderful opportunity. But basically what it is it is inspired and like worked in collaboration with Nile Rodgers, who did a lot of disco music and had a lot of influence on different disco music. And so there's like a walkthrough that people go through that have little vignettes. And then there's a really, really big roller rink with like life-size disco balls, and it's within the South Bay Botanical Garden, and there's these like cactuses that are made out of disco ball material.
Cacti, and the cacti are my favorite.
And some of them spin.
They don't all spin?
No, they don't all spin. Yeah, there's a dance floor, there's a skate rink, there's a bar, there's a little vintage arcade, there's a bunch of photo places, and one of the photo places is Christina Aguilera's set from her Vegas show.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, there's like a big disco ball that's like cracked open.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, and so it came from Christina Aguilera's set for her Vegas stay. But yeah, so it's crazy and it's awesome, and you can come and rent skates and skate, or you can be a roller skater who has their own skates and skates.
But hurry up, because it's amazing.
It's ending in 2 weeks, which is very sad. It was not supposed to end in 2 weeks, but now it is.
The floor is very beginner friendly. It is sport court. It is not slick at all, which is why I personally hate it.
Oh no, the floor is terrible.
When I think roller rink, I think I'm gonna go so fucking fast right now. I'm gonna blur by people. It's gonna be like jammer practice. And instead I get tired on this one. I tried my 101s too hard. I tried I don't know what other rules I tried, but I was just like, this ain't it either. And I was just like, it was fine, but I couldn't go as fast as I wanted to, which means I couldn't flow the way I usually do. I had to put more energy in it. But with that being said, I think it's perfect for like newer skaters or people that are just like chilling or like people that are like, I don't care, I like the resistance, and it's good for them.
Yeah, definitely I've been skating in hybrid wheels on it, and I really like the hybrid wheels on it. Yeah, you have to push a little bit harder, but I think it's worth it because, like, throughout the night, even if it gets, like, fog on it or whatever, it's not that bad with hybrid wheels.
I think it's just, like, kind of hot also because you have all those lights on and it's, like, a little warm at night, too. So for me, I'm like, I just want to chill. So I had more fun on the dance floor than I did on the rink. And, like, also on the sidelines, like, watching Rebel and all the other skaters do their performances was awesome. And they're like, there's like fake grass to lay on. There's like so many things to do there that's just like chill. It's like a chill night out. And so it's a really cool thing that I think is going on. What else I want to say about it? I was going somewhere and I forgot.
Oh, that's okay.
You go ahead.
So what I really like about it is there are a lot of really, really, really good skaters that you get to watch perform and like be inspired by, and they help people learn. And I've just never worked in such a creative and inspiring workplace before. And so for me, it like being at this job and being at the DiscOasis and getting to do it is like, it's literally like a dream come true. Like if I could do this for the rest of my life, I 100% would, because I love it.
And for me, like, I'm 100%, 150% so happy I turned it down. Because one, as y'all have seen probably on my IG, I am not a dance skater at all. I just do what I want to do. When someone says, here's a dance move, like here's an actual step-by-step, I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Dancing should be freestyle. Only freestyle. Forever. Do whatever you want. I can't comprehend the steps. My head hurts. Not to mention, they said it would be all levels, and it is not all levels. It is all people that do some crazy stuff. Rebels learned so much. I'm so proud of her. But, like, I have imposter syndrome that's, like, so bad that it'll make me just, like, walk off and, like, cry. Like, I just can't do it. So, like, if I would have been there, like, with all those talented skaters, like, it would just be a recipe for disaster, and I would have quit anyways.
Yeah, as soon as I got to the first rehearsal, I was like, oh, I'm so glad she didn't do this. Whereas I find that sort of situation invigorating. Like, that definitely, like, gives me the wherewithal. And I feel like me being at the DiscOasis, it's kind of given me this fulfillment that I didn't even realize that I needed, and this like connection to a different part of the skate community that I have just... Every night, I fall more in love with it. Like, I did not know that I love dance skating, and I do. And I want to keep it up even after it finishes and find more opportunities to do stuff like this. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's wild. Never would have known that had DiscOasis not existed. So I'm very grateful.
True.
And so, yeah, if you want to come.
What have you learned since being there?
Since being there, I have learned how to, like, heel toe spin, kind of. I've learned how to do a bunch of different, I know how to manual backwards. I know how to flow. I know how to dip forwards and backwards. I know how to go up on my toes, like my jam plugs, and jump back down. I know how to do a little bit of floor work. I know how to spin and like jump around and move around in both directions as I'm moving at a fast speed. And I'm learning partner skating. I've learned how Wendell taught me the other day, or is teaching me how to fast backwards Philly style.
What about Grapevine?
I'm working on the Grapevine. I can do the step version, kind of, and now I'm working on the toe version.
Wait a minute. Did you ever go back to your snake walk? How's that?
Yeah, I can snake walk, no problem. Okay. Yeah. And now I'm working on a modified snake walk that Calvin taught me, where you do the snake in the front, and then with the back you just go up on your front toes. Nice. And it looks like way cool.
And you were showing me the wiggle the other day.
Yeah, I learned something called the wiggle. I'm learning like different choreography that people are creating. I started learning how to do a waltz jump. Like, it's crazy. I've started learning, like, I literally learn something new every single day that I'm there. In a short amount of time. In the shortest amount of time. I can now very comfortably side surf both directions. Mm-hmm. So it's wild. Yeah. So that DiscOasis. It's crazy. You should come.
How was it skating with, like, famous people like Dita Von Teese and others?
So I've never been the kind of person that gets really impressed by famous people. Like, it doesn't really, I don't know, like, even famous people that I really like, I feel like it doesn't really faze me that much, because I've always just, like, really, really liked the people that I know so much. I know that sounds really lame, but, like, I just, like, I really admire my friends and the people that I know. I really like them.
So you don't feel
and I feel like with famous people, it's just like, I don't actually really know you. Like, I've seen pictures of you and stuff, and I think that's pretty cool. But,
yeah,
like...
but, like, do you feel like there's more pressure when you know someone that's famous is watching you?
No, because I don't think that they're going to remember me.
What about Niles Rodgers?
Oh, you mean how when I fell in front of Nile Rodgers when he was recording me?
Yeah, like, he's just another person, right?
Yes, if he wasn't recording me. But I was just like, oh, he's like pseudo responsible for hiring me. So I just felt like dumb. You know, like, oh man, I really shouldn't have fallen in front of him.
But how did you play it off?
I rolled and then I posed. I definitely have fallen quite a few times, and I know it's because I'm trying new things, but I feel so embarrassed every time I fall, like, I am the weakest link, you know, like, vote me off the island, fine, whatever. But I just try and bring the charisma, you know, like, if I can just have a good attitude and be, like, really excited to be there, then maybe everyone will just be really happy that I'm there still.
Nice.
That's
Oasis.
That's the goal. Yeah, come for bright lights, disco music.
Take your Instagram photos.
Definitely Insta-worthy. If you think it's going to be like a adult night at the rink, it's not. It's very session. So don't expect it to be like... I don't know. Like, there's not a lot of space to skate, even though it's a huge rink, because it's very, very session-like. Like, it's pretty much getting sold out every night now. But it's definitely cool for the experience.
Yeah, and it's not like some people are like, you can only skate for 30 minutes and then that's it. Like, you can go back out there after the routine, so you can get your time on that. And if you can't, if you're like, it's a little too crowded, hit up that dance floor, hit up that bar, hit up those food trucks.
And there's, like, big grass areas that you can just, like, hang out on, too, which is pretty cool. But, yeah.
All right.
So, that's DiscOasis. Do you have anything else to say about it?
Let's move over to Find Your Skate Date.
Okay, but first I'm going to say that I really hope that it comes, like, that they travel with it or they do whatever and then it comes back and that I can be...
She's manifesting.
I'm manifesting that I can be hired again for DiscOasis because I really want it to be, like, every year kind of a thing.
Oh,
okay.
Lord.
All right. That's all. Moving on to Find Your Skate Date. All right, so Find Your Skate Date. Do you want to tell us what Find Your Skate Date is? No? Okay. Find Your Skate Date is a part of our show in which we help you to find a skate date, whether that is someone who is romantic, someone who is platonic, someone who is a BFF, someone who is your ride or die in the bowl or at the rink or wherever you're going to be. So if you want us to help you find a skate date, then just send in a bio and include your pronouns and a little picture of you, and we will talk about you on the podcast. And if this person that we're about to talk about sounds like a great person who could be your skate date, then please hit them up so that we can connect y'all to each other. Okay. Our skate date for today is Jamaica Rose. What a stunning name. Okay, what's up, Shovel? I'm Jamaica Rose, they, them, she, her, and I'm a queer, tattooed cam girl who would love to meet fellow new skaters. Ooh, love that. I was born and raised in Berkeley, California, but moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida at the beginning of the pandemic madness. I've only skated at rinks and tennis courts, but would be so down to venture outside of that with a homie by my side. When I'm not skating, I love dancing, eating plant-based foods, chilling near water, and smoking. Anyone down for some skate adventures? If so, my IG is If so, my IG is at the sad poppy.
Aw, me too.
Love that. That is a great IG handle. I'm just finishing a 1-year social media break, so I'll be posting regularly soon. Wait, that's really amazing that you were able to do a 1-year social media break. I love your podcast and your family is beautiful. Sending all three of you good vibes. Aw, and they're so cute too. Look at them. We'll post them on our Instagram, which has not had very much love since we have been gone. But yes, if you think that Jamaica Rose is your skate date in Fort Lauderdale, then hit them up. And if you want to be featured on Dear Skate Date, then if you want to be featured on Find Your Skate Date, then send us an email at dearskatedate@gmail.com. Okay, moving on to Dear Shovel.
Dear Shovel is the segment where we give advice. You write in with your question, and we attempt to answer it.
It's pretty great. So if you want to ask a question, you can ask a question about literally anything, and you just send it to dearskatedate@gmail.com, and you title it Dear Shovel. And then you ask your question. It can be anonymous. It can be non-anonymous. What have you.
Let's jump right in. Dear Shovel, miss you much, and I am so glad that you are back and feeling better. Recently, I've been spending time at the skate park, slowly picking up on all the vibes and subtle culture, turn taking, etc. Tonight, I was at the park, and there were siblings on scooters dipping in and out of everyone's runs and playing on the obstacles. It's a thing. Most concerning, there was a toddler on a tricycle, and his parent was on the other side of the park, while the toddler was in the way of several skateboarders trying to grind. The toddler dropped into my run twice. I got frustrated and left the area. The next thing I knew, the toddler was in the center of the park on his tricycle, obstructing the popular line. The skateboarders clearly had gotten just as frustrated as me and were trying to skate around him and his siblings. How do and when do you approach a parent at the skate park? Rebel, as a speech coach, how do you confront someone when you are frustrated? I have a hard time not coming in hot when I've been letting the tension build by observing situations like this from time to time. With love, Rolls Quartz. Love that name.
That is so cute. I just got heated listening to that story. A toddler?
Yeah, like...
A toddler?
Talk about bad parenting.
You need to watch your toddlers. If you are a parent of a toddler, you gotta watch your toddlers.
It's okay as siblings to watch them. That kid's gonna get snatched up, and you're gonna be the first one to be like, "Oh, little Johnny got kidnapped at the skate park."
Snatched or slammed into by a person on a skateboard.
Yeah, or roller skates.
Or roller skates. Whatever. That toddler, he was not a toddler. Yeah, I think, so I definitely think, especially when a toddler is around, I think in this particular situation, at almost the first sight of a toddler near a bowl, I would have gone to get the parents. I think that at a certain age, it's kind of like yeah, I'm gonna go get your parent, whoever they are, wherever they are, no matter what. I don't know. Where do you draw that line?
I'm 34, so I straight up tell kids what I think is right. So I'll be like I would have went to the siblings, not a toddler, of course, and I've been like, excuse me, people are trying to skate here. You need to wait your turn. And then if they give me attitude, I'm like, where's your parent? Like, where's your father? Where's your mother? If they don't reply, I would go and be like, whose fucking kids are these? I don't care. Once you get a certain age, you literally stop giving a fuck. You're like, no. I am the only adult here, and I will solve this issue.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely talk to the kids if they were, like, preteens, but, like, if there's a toddler, I'm like, no, we need to get your parents now, because a teenager or preteen isn't going to take care of a toddler.
I mean, even a, 10-year-old and 8-year-old is going to, if you're just like, hey, yo, I'm worried about your kid, like, your little brother or sister, you want to keep an eye on them, how knows you're hoggy, you can try to I believe in reasoning with kids, they know what's wrong or right, but, I also know a lot of kids can be little shits, and then I will be a shit back, not to the point where it's, inappropriate, but I'll let them know that they're not acting right, because I come from a culture and a family where it's, every kid is your kid. You're a community and you should look out for another, and you are raised by a village. So, it's none of that, oh, let a kid push another kid down and look away. It's no, you're going to confront that kid and not lay hands on him, of course. I'm not saying, take it that old school. But you're going to teach them that that's wrong and why it's wrong. And then find the parents and let them decide how they're going to discipline them. But I feel like there's too many people that stand by and let kids do things that are not right. And they just go, oh, that's so annoying. Oh, well. And then they compromise. And it's no, you're an adult and you're going to let a child control what you can and can't do because, they're a kid. That's a learning opportunity for them.
Yeah, I definitely think that the easy way to approach a kid, even if the kid has attitude or not has attitude or whatever, is to be like, hey, you got to make sure you wait your turn. I've definitely said that a lot of times to kids. Or hey, that's actually really not cool. People can get hurt if you do that,
Yeah.
Not making it seem like a lecture, but more kind of being hey, just a heads up, what you're doing actually really impacts the people around, and we see it, and we know, you're not in a vortex.
Yeah, and if you're in a good mood, you can even take that kid under your wing and just be like, yo, man, come skate with us, but you gotta take turns. I'm gonna go, then you're gonna go, and you can chill with us, because, I don't know, some people are that's freaking weird, but other people know, there's kids that are just kind of dropped off at the skate park, and they need guidance, and there's nothing wrong with someone, not being a creep, of course, but, taking that kid under their wing and being all right, little man, little kid, I got your back, someone has to teach them skate park etiquette, because a lot of times their parents aren't skaters. They're just oh, that's somewhere I can drop my kid off.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily the kid's fault that they got dropped off at the skate park either.
Not
and so remembering that that's definitely possibly the case as well is really important to contextualize the experience that you're watching from your perspective, as well as thinking it from their perspective.
Yeah, because sometimes kids are little shits, and sometimes they literally just don't know. They're just we a park, having fun, blah, blah, blah. And they don't know there's, unspoken rules, or anything. And just go back to, when you're a kid and, your thought process and how you see the world, it's going to be different. So, if you're not comfortable talking to a kid because anxiety, or, let's say you're in a masculine body and you're no, I just feel me approaching these kids is gonna go wrong, I'm a full adult, and someone's gonna think it's weird, then yeah, go look for the parents, and then it's just a conversation hey, yo, kids are over there and they're not letting us skate, do you mind grabbing them, do you mind if I talk to them, you can also ask the parent a permission to talk to their kid, just to be let them know, because maybe the parent doesn't know, but there's also shit parents out there that are just gonna be I don't care, whatever, and at that point you gotta let it go. I mean, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I feel I definitely think that when you start feeling a certain type of way, it's really important to do something about it, like whether it's like resolve it within yourself or like take some sort of action to resolve the building of resentment, because the more resentment that builds and the more frustration that builds, the more difficult it is to have a peaceful conversation. Just because you're riled up, and even if you're trying to be calm when you're riled up, chances are pretty high you're going to use a tone accidentally.
Oh yeah, I would curse someone out, but I have anger issues, and like I'm nice until I'm not. Like once I get given a certain kind of energy, I'm gonna return that energy times 10, and I don't know, like, I know it's a problem I have. So I am like you, Rolls Court. It's like, I get heated really fast when people aren't listening or, like, understanding that they're in the wrong. And I think Rebel's so much better at keeping composure, like, to a certain point anyways.
Yeah, I am really good at keeping composure in the moment, and then I get in the car and I scream. But yeah, so I would suggest in a situation where you are really heated, try and find a moment where you can take to yourself and just do, this is going to sound cheesy, but do some breathing exercises.
Rose quartz should hold on to a rose quartz.
Yeah, walk away for a moment and then come back to approach the parent or to approach the kid. Like, definitely give yourself that even-keeled moment for you, because if you go into this situation heated, like, it's not going to end well.
Okay, now for some bad advice. I have a couple of ideas.
Okay.
One, keep some pebbles or tacks or something in your pocket. And when you see annoying kids, or like you're like, shove, that's too far, not kids, not the children, then when you see the parent skating, you just throw that shit right when they're going.
Gosh.
And let them fall. If it's an adult, tack, so that way they fall and stab themselves. But not bad enough to have to go to the hospital. If it's a kid, then they just fall. And hopefully they have their gear on. And they're going to be okay. And it's fine. And then when they fall, you say, learn rules and skate away. That's my bad advice.
I have more bad advice.
Wait, I have one
more. Oh, you have another one?
A couple ideas. The other one is that you bring a scary costume.
Oh my god, that was my idea!
Yeah, that's all. When you see them, you just like skate and you scare the living bejesus
out of
them. That was
literally my idea.
And they will be so traumatized that they will be afraid to go back to that park. And I mean like make demon possession sounds and like and literally just chase them till they're like, Daddy, Mommy! And then the parents are like, what the fuck? And then you're like, I'm crazy! And then they'll be like, whoa, this park is a little too much. I can't bring my kids here anymore.
Okay, I wasn't to that extent. My thought was literally like, just like, to like scare them. Just like keep scaring them. Just like they're about to drop in and you're like, ah! And that would be really annoying. And that's terrible advice. And you should definitely not do that. But advice nonetheless.
Another bad advice, just act crazy. Like, crazy.
Yeah, people really don't like that.
Like, just start wilding out. Just, like, be like, how can I make this park not welcoming where people are like, I can't bring my kids anymore. Yeah, so that's all our bad advice. I'm not going to say that I like our bad advice more than our good advice. But, you know, take what advice you feel like is sound. You're probably an adult. Yes, you are. I know who you are. But yeah, so there's many things you can do. Some are legal, some are illegal, some are morally right, and some are morally wrong. To each their own.
Yes. Well, that's Dear Shovel. Hopefully you got some sort of value out of that response.
People are like, shove is a psycho.
That's okay. You have pills. Yay, medication.
Yay. Don't get mad at me for saying act crazy, because I am crazy.
So if you have a question for us and you would like our good and bad advice, feel free to write in to dearskatedate@gmail.com and we will answer your question.
I'm waiting for someone to write in and be like, but please, wrong answers only. Like, bad advice only.
Amazing.
That'd be great.
Can't wait. All right. So, do we have any 5 stars?
Yes.
What is 5 stars?
5-star reviews are Apple Podcast reviews, and 5 stars are lovely, but we'll take any stars. You can be brutally honest. If you hate us, it's okay.
But, like, please give us 5 stars.
Yeah. Supposedly it does something. We haven't seen anything, but supposedly it does something. And it does give us butterflies in our stomach, so
we love butterflies.
So, yeah, we do have one today.
And it is by Afterjacks. Wait, that's such a cool name. I love that.
It's like Apple Jacks?
Afterjacks. I love
you.
Are you a cereal or are you Afterjacks?
Multiple people named Jack.
All right, so this says Long Beach vibes. Love this show. Shovel makes me laugh out loud. The skate content is so relatable, and I love listening when I'm skating. It feels like skating with friends.
Mm.
And the real world content is thoughtful and genuine. Love these Long Beach vibes. Worth going back and listening from the first episode. Aww, thanks, Afterjacks.
At DiscOasis, Rebel met someone that was a fan, and said they missed it, so they're listening to old ones.
Oh, yeah, I should have gotten their name and remembered it and written it down so I could shout them out. But the wonderful, beautiful person that came up to me and said that they listen to Skate Date every week and that they miss it. This episode is dedicated to you. Thank you so much for coming up and telling me that. That literally made my night.
And I know, like, there was, like, a joke on our last episode about, like, I think it was the 5-star reviews or someone, maybe it was, like, the write-in. They were like, and Shove, we know you don't like the podcast, but stay in there. And I was like, okay, my energy is off, and, like, I mentioned that. But I actually was excited for coming back, and I thought I'm going to do my hair, and I'm going to do my makeup, and wear something cute. And I'm sorry that I didn't have that energy to give y'all today. Hopefully next week will be better, but as we all know, mental health is a journey and we can't always feel great. But thank you for the love you all give me and the support, and it does still feel good to be back. So thanks for the skate date, even though I was like a Debbie Downer.
That's okay. We love you even when you're a Debbie Downer.
Better than being a negative Nancy. No, I'm that too right now, sorry.
All right. Thanks so much for coming on this skate date Thanks so much for coming on this skate date with us. We love you so much, and we will see you next Wednesday.